what's been said. There's a wave of grace hunting your soreness down. There's a light in my skin that's been dimmed. I'ma dig you up and give you what I took, pull you up and tuck you in and make you look. I'ma smooth your shoulders down and calm what shook. It was all forlorn, if only for a season. Watching me is like watching the fire take your eyes from you. Hope it isn't repetition, though that's the only thing that keeps and takes you. Watching me is like watching the fire take your eyes from you. Hope it isn't repetition, though that's the only thing that keeps and takes you. Forlorn, if only for a season. Watching me is like watching the fire take your eyes from you. Hope it isn't repetition, though that's the only thing that keeps and takes you. Watching me is like watching the fire take your eyes from you. Watching the fire. Hope it isn't repetition, though that's the only thing that keeps and takes you. Even though it's the only thing that keeps and takes feeling you broke and the smoke filled you up. I wasn't thinking about you. You have a mind to make sight of the weight you pick up. I wasn't thinking about you. Again, I wasn't thinking about you. I wasn't. Again, I wasn't thinking about you. I wasn't. There is a color that shines through your skin like the moon on the wind when I bear you in. The night is full on the half of your evaded mask and the rings around your eyes. We are stranger than earth with their seasons misled, stronger than moods. When our parts parted, edgy, bled and bled and bled. I wasn't thinking about you.
Hi guys, you know, it doesn't feel like fall outside. I wish it felt like fall, but unfortunately it does not. You know, we're finally at the point where today things have changed a little bit. You know, these past couple days have been crazy. We had temperatures in the 80s all this week. Right now we are at 66 in Boston, 64 near low, a little bit cooler off the North Shore, and then look, 64 on, I guess it's the magic number everywhere, Plymouth and Bourne, and where else do we have? I feel like Oprah with 64s, a little cooler over the water where temperatures are in the lower 60s, and then Western Mass, Pittsfield a few minutes ago was at about, I think 59 degrees. We've warmed up a little bit in that nice afternoon sun. You know, it's been so dry lately that when you have dry air, it doesn't have much to hold on to the heat, so it can really gather heat really quickly, but at the same time it gives off heat incredibly quickly, which is why at night we can drop down temperatures in the 40s. I want to show you what's going on right now across the Northeast. This was last night, an amazing shot from Suomi NPP, one of my favorite satellites. You can see this right here. These are the northern lights. They have day-night band. This is how we were able to tell that all Puerto Rico was without power the other day. This satellite really clued us in, but at the same time they can capture natural lights too in the form of beautiful aurora borealis. You know, lately these past couple nights have been very great for aurora watchers across southern New Hampshire, Canada rather. But now we're transitioning to a much more inactive time. It should be back into the busy category, I'd say right around October 12th through 13th. Here's what we have going on right now. It'll take a second to load, but again, you can see these two swirls. We'll talk about those swirls in a second because something tells me y'all know what those swirls are. Right now, though, as we zoom in a little bit across the northeast, we see we have winds from the northwest. That is why we are ushering that dry air in from Canada, and that's why it's not really all that nice over our area right now. Of the Great Lakes, our next weather system. It looks scary. It's not all that impressive. It's very, very boring, and that'll shift over, I'd say, on Saturday. So that's why we'll have a chance of a few showers, mainly Saturday night into early Sunday. And then Sunday, not too much going on. We'll have air coming down from the north, and we know what those cold northern air masses bring. But look, after that, we see green on the map, all this air rising back further north from the south. That'll put us under some nice flow for some warm temperatures on Sunday and Monday of next week, and then believe me, it's going to be warming up quite a bit. Let's show you what's going to go on in the next couple of hours. We're going to use the NAM, one of my favorite models for the short term. Some people like the HRRR. I love the NAM. And what you see, this is that system off to our west. Not really doing all that much. It looks impressive, then look, it just kind of falls apart. Few showers overnight, Friday night into very early Saturday morning, right around noontime. And then they might get hung up across the South Shore, Cape and the Islands. If we can zoom down a little bit, you'll be able to see, yeah, oh, what did I do? But they kind of gather around down there, and then they meander out over the ocean, and then nothing really happens. Few lake effect bands of clouds, but really nothing going on. What I want to show you is this. See these two? These are the swirls over the Atlantic. We have Maria off to the west. We have Lee off to the east. Both tropical storms at this point. Lee, believe it or not, much smaller than Maria, but a little bit more powerful, which is why we had a hurricane. Lee, at the same time, Maria was a tropical storm. Maria, meanwhile, a big bowling ball moisture. Look at her spinning away. Lee has his center exposed, and normally you don't want to go out showing around your centers. That's why we know Lee is a very weak tropical storm at this point, and it's transitioning to extratropical, meaning doesn't really look like a hurricane anymore. We have some dry slots going in here. We have cold air wrapping around the backside. It doesn't look like that perfect circle we have as a hurricane. It is extratropical. So National Hurricane Center says they're really not too much to worry about. They're heading out to sea. They're just going to bother the fishes. Nothing for us. But then, X marks the spot. We have two X's. The first one right over here across the northern Leeward Islands and the Lesser Antilles. Nothing going on for the next 48 hours. And then a very low chance this could develop into something over the next, I'd say, 5 to 7 days. Very minimal at this point, but something worth watching. Then we have this X. 40% chance, just under halfway chance of it developing into a tropical cyclone, so tropical storm, hurricane. Way too early to tell, but again, it is right here poised just off the southwest coast of Florida. And if we can, I'd actually like to show you a video right now of a live radar loop. And we'll zoom down a little bit farther, and let's see what we have going on off the coast of Florida, Key West. And yeah, we can see we do have this blob of precipitation just kind of spinning around right now. All these disorganized showers and storms, if they organize more, that's how we know it will be a threat for mariners as well as people in the Florida coastline. So again, something that bears watching. Not too much going on here. It's really just quiet. There's really not a ton to talk about in terms of weather. But over the next 5 days here in Boston, we can see it is sunny this afternoon. And then later on this week, the only chance of precip is Saturday into Sunday. Then remember how I talked about how next week would be really nice. We are 65 on Sunday. We're rising to around 70 on Monday. I think Tuesday is a little too conservative. When we don't want conservative, I'd say it's going to be about 72, 73 degrees on Tuesday, but those nights will still be awfully chilly because there's no moisture to hold on to that heat. And then middle of next week, I'm forecasting an 80 for Wednesday. I know that sounds crazy, but believe me, it is an Indian summer, and that fall is not anywhere on the horizon anytime soon. That is my latest forecast. Stay tuned. We'll have a really cool video on St. Elmo's Fire coming up in just a few minutes. You know, not everyone likes flying, but sometimes you see things that are really darn cool. This was from Maria Inez Rubio. She was a flight attendant, the lead flight attendant, on a flight that was coming from Rome over to Barcelona. And just as she was passing the island of Corsica, she went into the cockpit to give the pilots their supper and saw this, these crazy weird arcs of electricity across the hood and the windshield. That is St. Elmo's fire. Now, it happens in very high electric fields. So they flew into the thunderstorm, and normally to get an electric spark in dry air, just like if you're going to touch the doorknob or any type of lightning, anything like that, you have to have a potential difference of about 3 megavolts, so 3 million volts per meter. That sounds insane, but we can't really achieve that most of the time. So heck, that's why every single time you touch a doorknob, you're not fried. Instead, we have something called a coronal discharge. That is a local enhancement to the field around pointy objects because they can really gather all that charge. And that's why the pointy part of the plane was able to trigger these amazing values of St. Elmo's fire. You can see them right here. A really, really cool video. Thank you so much to my friend Maria for sending that in. Now, cool in the airplane because after all you have that big protective medical field around you to get all that electricity to go away. But if you're on the ground, that's really not so good. This could be a harbinger of bad news. St. Elmo's fire appearing on this. This is Lake Monona back in 2016 during a snowstorm. A couple folks were out. This is out now, I believe, Dane County, Wisconsin. They're out on the lake and they saw this on their fingertips. Blue electricity emanating from that fingertip, and you can imagine how scary that would be. That means they're in a very high electric field. They thought it was cool, but heck, if you see that anytime, you need to get out of there as quickly as you possibly can, because that shows you're in such a high electric field that maybe the ground and the sky are trying to link up and you're going to be in that lightning bolt. So again, you don't want that to happen, but amazing sights coming in. Thank you so much to the folks that shared those. And of course, you can always see something really cool if you just pay attention to it. Look out the window and heck, next time you're on a plane, you might see something a little shocking.
I could give you petty rhyme of worlds that I can try.